Day 2 of the media budget review debate began with the submission of the Minister for Planning, Professor George Anbafo. Deputy Minister for Finance, Charles Edubuahin, however, in his submission, indicated that government had paid 96% of depositors of the defunct microfinance and savings and loans companies.
We managed to still provide the protection of the public pens and the judicious use of taxpayers' funds, as well as address the issue with regards to depositors getting paid for their funds that have been locked up. As I said, Mr. Speaker, so far we've managed to pay out 96% of the depositors. In fact, the reason why we are not closer to 100% was that there were some depositors, especially in the Ashanti region with First Allied, who submitted their claims after the deadline. This was because they had been taken to court and they had to be able to sort it out.
The reduction of the communications service tax from 9% to 5% created contention during the contribution of Sector Minister Esla Osu Ekufo and MP for Ningo Pram Sam George.
We need to increase the bandwidth and strengthen resilience and security of our networks and manage congestion. We need to connect vital services and ensure the continuity of public services to safeguard the welfare of all our populations. We need to power our fintechs and digital business models to support the most impacted communities. We also need to promote trust, security, and safety online and leverage the power of mobile big data. We can do all that by prioritizing digital platforms, digital solutions, and digital initiatives. And I'm proud to be part of a government that sees the need to make data as much of a utility as water or electricity.
An MNO, which is actually seeking to drive digital inclusion, when they themselves ask that MNO to go into unserved areas, and in going into unserved areas at the request of government, increase their customer base, you turn around and punish them and say that they are a significant market player, and so you are imposing restrictions on them. You talk about expanding access. You talk about giving access to people to go in there, to get access to data. Yet, when companies are investing their own money to get access to Ghanaians, you are punishing them for being SMPs. Mr. Speaker, if government was really serious about digital inclusion in this budget, you would have been seeing a line item saying that from the COVID funds, you are reserving maybe 300 or 400 million Ghana cedis to improve last mile connectivity.
The conduct of Public Officers Bill 2018 was debated at the second reading stage and approved. The Attorney General Gloria Kufu outlined the need for the bill.
The present state of the law does not provide the necessary deterrence for corruption in public office. Although there are public finance laws, such as the Public Financial Management Act 2016 Act 921, the Public Procurement Act 2003 Act 663, the Internal Audit Agency Act 2003 Act 658, and the Audit Service Act 2000 Act 584, which are intended to regulate financial management in the country and to curb the leakage of resources, they do not effectively deal with the problem of corruption of a public officer. There is a need to improve our legislation to meet United Nations and African Union minimum standards, as contained in the Convention regarding public officer accountability and corruption.
For Ranking Member of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, Inusa Fuseni, it will streamline the asset declaration regime for public officers.
The asset declaration requirement of public officers is enshrined in the Constitution. It's actually an entrenched clause. But we have seen of late, public officers occupying important public offices, refusing or neglecting to declare their assets within the time frame limited for that declaration. Even when the Shiraj, which is mandated to investigate such offenses, came to the conclusion that they didn't file within that time, Shiraj was constrained because there's no sanctions regime. So they only said, go and sin no more.
The Conduct of Public Officers Bill was read at the second stage here in Parliament today. It is expected to bring some reforms into how public officers go about discharging their duties in the country. The issue of asset declaration was one that generated a lot of discussions on the floor of the House. Reporting for Citi News from Parliament, my name is Duke Mensopoko.